J. Cole stans are officially worse than Drake stans, and that's saying something. After my video predicting Cole's retirement strategy, I went to check other reactions and found something horrifying. An army of delusional fans rewriting the entire foundation of hip-hop just to protect their bike-riding savior. Today I'm exposing how Cole stans aren't just defending bad takes, they're actively destroying hip-hop authenticity, one excuse at a time. The discovery. Let me tell y'all about my afternoon on January 28th after dropping my video about how I predicted J. Cole's theme perfectly. I wanted to see how other YouTubers were reacting to his birthday mixtape, see if anyone else was catching the contradictions I pointed out. So I'm scrolling through reactions and you know how it is. You got your please every fan base reactors trying to increase their reach, your I'm here for the algorithm people who never take a real stance on anything, which could never be me, by the way. I stand on what I feel and let it out if it's hip-hop related. Even if I'm glazing, I'll tell you I'm glazing and couldn't care less what you think. A lot of people in my comments be like, he's glazing Kendrick, glazer. Like I'm supposed to repent or cry. Bro, I'm an unapologetic hip-hop critic and I value truth and sincerity more than business politics. That's why I can't just listen to J. Cole's good rapping while he gaslights me and tries to rewrite his own history. Anyway, I jumped into Scru Face Jean's reaction video and something disturbing happened. The Scru situation. Hostage energy. Scru kept explaining himself and apologizing after every pause, even though Cole was clearly contradicting himself every few bars. It seemed like somebody was pointing a gun behind the camera, telling him not to say anything negative about J. Cole. But then I looked at the comments section and it hit me like a brick. This wasn't Scru being scared. This was Scru being overwhelmed by the most delusional fan base in hip-hop. The comments were flooded, and I mean 95% flooded, with Cole stans going to war for a man who was clearly lying to them with almost every breath he took. And Scru has over 1 million subscribers, so we're talking about thousands of delusional comments defending obvious contradictions. That's when the realization hit me. J. Cole stans are way worse than Drake stans. The math that doesn't lie. Think about this logically. J. Cole has the smallest fan base of the so-called Big Three, yet somehow I'm seeing the most aggressive stans going to war for him. When I had my foot on Drake's neck during his L season, I had a few Drake stans that would cry for him and try to be delusional. He's suing for the greater future of artists type nonsense, but it was manageable. Cole stans? They came like the flood of Noah, and they're the minority of his fan base. If this is how the stans act, imagine how detached from reality they are. But here's why I'm going to keep getting on Cole every time he comes outside. These stans specifically have been put under some kind of humble spell. They're so confidently delusional when they speak, like, you guys are a bunch of fools and not being childish. Then they continue pedaling along like they just dropped the mic. The arrogance combined with the delusion is what makes them worse than any other fan base. The evidence. Delusional comment breakdown. Let me show you exactly what I found in Scru's comment section. These aren't cherry-picked examples. This was the overwhelming majority. Now go and ask the best rappers that died, they'll tell you he never lied. They're literally saying dead rappers would co-sign Cole's lies. They're using deceased legends to defend current delusions. That's not just stan behavior, that's spiritual manipulation. When MCs do joints together, whoever has the best verse caught a body. How do so many people in the culture nowadays have such a remedial understanding of MC language? This stan is calling other hip-hop fans remedial for not accepting their rewrite of what catching bodies means. They're gaslighting the entire culture to protect Cole. Why are we acting like Cole was ever a part of that beef? He never wanted beef and thought it was friendly. Cole literally dropped a diss track.
And I just now hit mine.
He just hit his prom.
Now I'm front up the line with a comfortable lead.
Called 7-Minute Drill, questioning Kendrick's catalog. But these stans are rewriting history to claim he was never involved. That's not interpretation, that's delusion. The Language Rewrite Project. Here's what's really dangerous. Cole stans are systematically rewriting hip-hop terminology to protect their favorite rapper. Catching bodies now means getting good verses on features instead of destroying opponents. Battle now means friendly competition instead of lyrical warfare. Standing on business now means apologizing when things get serious.
You know, kumbaya Cole and shit when you wasn't on that fucking type of time up until this point.
It's not really us. We are instigating. Let's keep it about. We are instigating. But it's y'all and y'all lyrics.
The man is no king, if that means I gotta dig up dirt and pay the whole team of algorithm bot niggas just to sway the whole thing on social media.
Hold on. What the other two niggas doing now?
The whole narrative was Drake was out here paying people to get information on Kendrick.
She said niggas is buying shit. Kendrick, you buying shit?
Bots and all these streaming numbers.
Trying to go number one.
They're literally changing the definitions of words that have meant the same thing in hip-hop for 50 years, just so Cole's contradictions make sense. Look at this comment. There's a difference between lyrical shots and songs and stepping into a beef that's about to drag real relationships through the mud. No, there isn't. That's the whole point of hip-hop beef. You can't claim to be the best alive, drop diss tracks, then redefine what beef means when someone responds. The comprehension gaslighting. The most insidious part is how they gaslight anyone who points out Cole's contradictions. Sometimes I genuinely wonder if Scru reads his comments and realizes he's not interpreting these right. You're listening with a bias. You're not listening to what's being said. Listening and comprehending are two different things. These stands have convinced themselves that anyone who doesn't accept Cole's contradictions just has poor comprehension skills. It's not that Cole is lying, it's that we're too stupid to understand his genius. That's cult behavior. When your defense of someone requires claiming everyone else is too dumb to understand obvious contradictions, you've left reality behind. The Michael Jordan comparison disaster. Here's my favorite delusion. That Mike Jordan point was valid AF. Jordan was stupid competitive, and we see Cole does not have that sort of beast inside him. Wait, let me get this straight. Cole compared himself to Michael Jordan, but you're defending it by saying Cole doesn't actually have Jordan's competitive spirit? So he's lying about being like Jordan, but the lie is valid because... why exactly? This is the mental gymnastics required to defend Cole. You have to admit he's lying while simultaneously defending the lie as truth. The feature run cope. The most common defense was about Cole's feature run. Bruh, name a feature he didn't murder. He catches bodies, bruh. You are missing the point. He is saying he is catching bodies on features, which is 100% true. These stands are treating feature runs like they're equivalent to head-to-head battles. That's like saying a boxer is undefeated because he only fights sparring partners. Cole gets to pick which battles to fight, when to fight them, and who to fight against. That's not proving you're the best. That's proving you know how to pick easy victories. The apology revisionism. The most disturbing comments were about the Kendrick apology. I respect any man for not engaging in beef not meant for them. Cole wasn't talking about the fans or them wanting to enjoy battle rap. He was talking about all the rappers.
Hoping that peace comes to my cursed mind.
Cole literally dropped a diss track, then apologized for it at his own festival. But these stands have rewritten that story into Cole being the mature one who was above the conflict from the beginning. That's not just defending your favorite artist, that's participating in mass delusion about documented events. The Stan War hypocrisy. Here's the comment that broke my brain. You can say Stan Wars ruined hip-hop, but maybe it's time for him to look in the mirror. A Cole stan is blaming Scru for Stan Wars while participating in Stan Wars to defend Cole. The lack of self-awareness is astronomical. They're literally proving the point about stan behavior while denying that stan behavior exists. Why Cole stans are the worst. Here's why Cole stans are worse than Drake stans. Drake stans defend obvious lies, but they know they're lies. They'll admit Drake took an L, but argue it doesn't matter because of his success. There's some connection to reality. Cole stans defend obvious lies by claiming they're not lies. They rewrite reality, change definitions, gaslight critics, and create alternate timelines where Cole's contradictions make sense. Drake stans say, "My favorite is flawed, but still great." Cole stans say, "My favorite has no flaws, and everyone who sees flaws is stupid." That's why they're more dangerous to hip-hop culture. The damage to hip-hop. When Cole stans rewrite the meaning of catching bodies, battle, and standing on business, they're not just defending Cole, they're attacking hip-hop's foundational language. When they gaslight critics by claiming superior comprehension, they're not just supporting their favorite, they're destroying the culture's ability to have honest conversations about artistry. When they rewrite documented history like the Kendrick apology, they're not just protecting Cole's image, they're teaching the next generation that reality is negotiable if you're loyal enough. This isn't just stan behavior, this is cultural vandalism.
The fall off, 2-6-26, the real is back.
If Cole is the GOAT, ain't leaving your lips. Don't you ever bother opening them again. Jermaine. He rapped his story in reverse. The video was going backwards.
What do you know about the Ville?
Why are you in my house?
Answer the boy, don't play with me right now, boy.
Jermaine.
The fall off out February 6th.
That page is blank.
Cause you should already know the real is back. Jermaine.
Psych! That's the wrong number!
The psychological profile. Cole stans exhibit classic cult psychology. 1. Reality denial. Documented events get rewritten to protect the leader. 2. Language control. Changing definitions to make contradictions seem logical. 3. Persecution complex. Anyone who criticizes is biased, stupid, or hateful. 4. Intellectual superiority. Only they understand the real meaning. 5. Mass coordination. They flood comment sections with the same talking points. This isn't healthy fandom. This is ideological commitment that supersedes truth. The humble spell. Here's what I think happened. Cole's humble aesthetic was so effective that it created a fan base that sees him as morally superior to other rappers. They don't just like his music, they think supporting him makes them better people. So when Cole gets criticized, they take it personally. Attacking Cole feels like attacking their own moral identity. That's why they get so defensive and aggressive. They're not just defending a rapper, they're defending their self-image as people who support authentic artists over fake ones.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're here, you might have just watched my reaction to the Bronx Zoo freestyle. I gave it its own reaction. I had to sit it down. I could do with all of these songs, but I decided to do the rest of this like an EP. You know, I didn't want to upload 5 videos today. So, J. Cole just dropped his mixtape out of nowhere on his birthday, the Birthday Blizzard 26. And he's grabbing a bunch of beats and rapping on some old school Clue tape stuff. And that's dope. Let's get to it. We are here at Golden Goose Freestyle. People telling me he's shooting all throughout this album. There's a few things in the first song where I went, oh, he's a lot more aggressive than... Okay, so this is the energy. So let's get to Golden Goose. DJ Clue, to the storm. Oh, and just so y'all know that I'm true to this, not new to this, and I'm loyal to the soil. Just so y'all know. He did this on, if you know J. Cole does that $1 in a Dream stuff where he allows you to pay what you want. Now, a lot of people are just reacting to these mixtape, as they should. He's rapping on other people's beats, so it's whatever, without paying for it. But I just had to show y'all, I actually paid for this. I actually bought this, you know, bung bung right there. I paid $10. I could have paid 1, I paid 10. I said, all right, Cole, I'm here for you. You bringing me content. You've given me, giving me good raps throughout my whole life, basically, you know. So let's get right through this.
DJ Clue. Nah, I'm on top. You can't knock me off my spot. Fuck yachts. I won't stop to the boats and cruise ship.
The first song, The Brooklyn Zoo, you might want to watch that if you haven't watched that first before you watch the rest of this reaction. That line is he's choose some classic beats. He went on Victory the first song. That line is a little weird that I'm still on top because quite literally, I kid you not, had I listened to this all together as one thing, one of the last, towards the end of the Brooklyn Zoo, he literally says, I know the apology knocked me off the top. That's great. I work better at the bottom. I work better. And then here he goes, I'm still at the, you can't knock me off the top. You just said am I supposed to not listen to what he's actually saying?
My spot, fuck yachts. I won't stop to the boats and cruise ship. Like I co-produced it. A lot of rappers make.
Okay, all right.
Niggas so they sold illusion. Universal distribution, but I own the music.
Excuse me. You know they told me that he was shooting.
A lot of rappers make dough and be prone to lose it for crumbs. Dumb niggas so they sold illusion.
Woo! Now, you know, J. Cole does this thing where he gives himself enough room when he says something where I feel like if people take it a certain way, he'll act a certain way. If he takes it a different way, he'll do it a certain way. Now, I've had people hit me up and told me that these are shots at Drake. Do I think that he's going to come out and say they're shots at Drake? Absolutely not. I think you would have, even if he wrote them as exact shots to Drake, he's not going to say it. He does that. Now, what I will say is J. Cole is also a master writer, a master rapper. And he understands that when he says that, people are going to think of Drake. When you're talking about they sold their soul to Lucian and they're losing their money, when Drake's whole thing is, didn't he get like the biggest deal from Lucian? And then now he feels like he basically sold his soul because he's in this bad deal, according to Drake. So J. Cole definitely, I can already predict he's going to be like, why do people think I'm talking about Drake? Even though I don't say who I'm talking about, and by the context clues, it absolutely fits him. Why would you think that? I guarantee he's going to do that. I think it's enough shade where it's a shot to Drake regardless. I'll put it like this. If Drake takes it as a shot, J. Cole can't go, why are people taking that as a shot? But really, it could be a shot to anybody signed to UMG. But people are going to think the person who's suing UMG complaining that he's in a bad contract is the person you're talking about. Like, so if after the Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, remember when they're at that, was it the Met Gala? And then and then they apparently got into like whatever, and then somebody threw something to Cardi got a knot on her head. If I went on a song right after that, and I went, yeah, and women who be fighting that fashion shows are trashy, nigga. And then Cardi B and Nicki Minaj took that as a shot and go, I wasn't talking about y'all. That's what.
Dumb best nigga still breathing, leaving no confusion. Hop on every nigga song, abuse it.
Best nigga still breathing, no confusion. No, you left a lot of confusion. I'm sorry, bro. You left confusion. You left confusion.
Hop on every nigga song, abuse it. Catch bodies for my own amusement. Back. Excuse it. If I said it, then I wrote it, stupid. I'm a star like the logo on my shoes.
If I said it, I wrote it, stupid. It's gonna sound like shots at Drake too, and he's gonna probably say it's not, but it's gonna sound like that, especially with that. What do you do? What did you do for fun? What do you do for your own amusement?
Bodies for my own amusement.
J. Cole will say something like that, and then a J. Cole stan will tell you, you don't have the right to speak on that. They will say, he can say he catches bodies for fun, the best rapper still breathing. And I'm supposed to not have the right to go, what are you talking about? Yeah, hip-hop has just gotten to, Stan Wars done just ruined hip-hop, brother. And people think I love J. Cole, but what do you do?
For my own amusement, niggas cheating and I won't excuse. Has seen more beef than them folks at Roof Chris.
Are they? I'm starting to think that niggas are trying to get you to listen to Cole passively. They're trying to have you listen to Cole the same way you listen to Playboi Carti. I damn near think niggas are gonna try to tell me, don't listen to what he's actually saying. Just qualify it by the level of technical ability. Shut my brain off as a rapper, writer, and somebody who grew up in hip hop. I'm supposed to shut my brain off to what he's actually saying and just comment to the vibes like I'm DJ Academics. That's what y'all want. That's what y'all really want, apparently. Never. That will never be me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There are other people who don't know what rappers saying, don't care. There are other reactors who don't even listen, just bob up for the SEO so the fans of their artists will click on it and just glaze. That's what will happen. I'll never be that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, nigga. You lying all through this, God. It's almost like you're doing that on purpose. Because how you gonna say you catch bodies for amusement, but then you talk about it was the fans' fault and we wanted to see blood. It was their fault. They're barbaric, but you catch bodies.
Your man how to fish, and the lesson is this: without a pole, you're useless. Catch my drift. I'm swift on my toes, you do.
Without a pole, you're useless. Catch my drift, like swimming. Like I said, I'm always gonna call out when you saying hard shit, but I'm gonna call out when you're being a hypocrite too, bro. Y'all only accept it when I'm doing it with Drake. Niggas love it when I'm doing it with Drake. Niggas love it when I'm doing other rappers. Let it be cold, and all of a sudden the cold. No. I can still say you are one of the greatest with the pen. Technically, don't make you. You're just never gonna be one of the greatest rappers to me. So when you're saying this, I'm like,
Stream say you're winning while your tours is losing. When
if your stream say you're winning while your tours is losing. Now a lot of people are having a hard time with the shows. That's been a thing. But like I said, with the Lucian bar, with the I wrote it myself and your tours, J. Cole, I'm not even gonna speak anymore to if J. Cole is shooting at somebody, because you never know what he's gonna say, even if he is shooting blatantly. Like, right? Niggas will insult your intelligence dead to your face. What I'm just gonna say is, Cole, you definitely left enough breadcrumbs where the people who think you're talking about Drake have more than enough evidence towards it now. And the fact that you don't say who you're talking about, people are gonna go, well, all three of these disses are common Drake disses, so. But I'm not even gonna say he's shooting at Drake. I'm gonna say by the evidence, by the preponderance of the evidence, it seems as if he's shooting at Drake. That's how you gotta talk about Cole now.
the tough guy image, it is not conducive to breathing. Don't gamble with your life, cause the ops is.
Cut the tough guy out because it's not conducive, it's hard. Alright.
Cruising. Word to Mike Vick, your dog might get shot for losing. And I don't like.
Okay, he's using classic beats. I'm not gonna lie to you. Technically, he killed that, but like, okay, Winter Storm freestyle. Let's get right to
Now,
it.
since J. Cole Stan want to continue gaslighting us and insulting our intelligence while being delusional about theirs, I'm gonna continue my prediction on the fall off with a third song, also on his new mixtape, because why not? Winter Storm, the humility contradiction, the hat trick of delusion. Y'all thought Cole was done embarrassing himself after 2 songs? Think again. Winter Storm might be his most psychologically revealing track yet, because this is where Cole accidentally tells on himself about his entire image strategy. In one song, he acknowledges that his humility is a meme, compares himself to Michael Jordan, claims he's reached perfection, then preaches about authenticity while admitting he's still intimidated by real street guys. This isn't just contradiction anymore. This is a full psychological breakdown set to a beat. Let me walk you through how Cole managed to expose his own game plan in under 4 minutes. Section 1, the humility admission. Here's the most telling bar on the entire mixtape. Memes say I'm humble, but trust, this humility's from witnessing violence and turned off utilities. Stop everything. Cole just admitted that his humility is a meme, meaning it's become a joke, a performance, a brand strategy rather than a genuine personality trait. But then he tries to justify it by claiming it comes from real struggle. So which is it, Jermaine? Is your humility genuine because of your background, or is it a meme that people make jokes about? You can't acknowledge that your humility has become a punchline and then immediately try to convince people it's authentic. That's like saying, people say I'm fake, but let me prove I'm real by explaining why I'm fake. Section 2, the Jordan comparison while claiming humility. In the same verse where Cole acknowledges his humility is a meme, he says, I'm Mike Jordan and Edwards. Nigga, you kidding me? Let me get this straight. You just acknowledged that people see your humility as performative, then immediately compared yourself to the greatest basketball player of all time and a rising superstar? That's not humility. That's false modesty followed by massive ego. You're using the humility brand to make your arrogance more palatable to your audience. Oh, I'm so humble. People make memes about it. Anyway, I'm Michael Jordan. The cognitive dissonance is incredible. Section 3, the aging backwards delusion continues. Cole doubles down on the aging backwards concept. Cole gets older but grows new abilities. You didn't know, I'm Xeno with Goku agility. This man is 40 years old comparing himself to anime characters and claiming he's developing new superpowers with age. This isn't confidence, this is a midlife crisis with a Dragon Ball Z reference. But here's what's really happening. Cole is using the aging backwards narrative to justify why he's retiring instead of proving his greatness through sustained competition. Instead of admitting he's past his peak, he's claiming this is his peak, so leaving now looks strategic instead of necessary. Section 4. The perfection delusion. Come witness perfection, these niggas perplexing. Witness perfection. This humble, chain-free, bike-riding saint just called himself perfect. You cannot claim humility and perfection in the same song. You cannot acknowledge that your humility is a meme and then demand people witness your perfection. Those concepts are mutually exclusive. This is Cole using humility as a Trojan horse to sneak in the most arrogant claims possible. I'm so humble that my perfection is just facts, not bragging. Section 5. The authenticity contradiction. Here's where Cole gets really hypocritical. Be yourself, living your truth, niggas will feel you. This is coming from a man who just admitted his humility is performative, who's crafting an entire retirement strategy around image management, who's spending 3 songs trying to convince people he's something he's not. You're preaching authenticity while literally being inauthentic. You're telling people to be themselves while you're clearly being a calculated version of yourself designed for maximum appeal. Section 6. The gangster admission. But the most revealing line might be, I used to get self-conscious around real gangsters, and I still do. Thank you for the honesty, Jermaine. You're still intimidated by real street credibility, which explains everything about your approach to hip-hop. You throw subliminals instead of direct shots because you're scared of real confrontation.
Another one. DJ Khaled.
I moved in a way that I feel spiritually feel bad on me. Like,
Oh no.
What is this throwing rocks and hiding my hand shit?
What the hell is this nigga apologizing for?
As a J. Cole fan, do you know how many arguments I was going against with niggas telling me that this shit was whack? You know how stupid I look now?
According to Kendrick, it ain't no big 3.
Hey, at this point in the game, it is what it is.
Man, I'm gone, bro. Cole, you disappointed me with this one, bro.
The power of the Black Panther. You stripped your own shit away. Ah, no.
You apologized to Kendrick because you were afraid of sustained battle. You pick feature runs over head-to-head competition because you're intimidated by elite-level conflict. At least you're finally being honest about your limitations, but you can't admit you're scared of real gangsters and then try to position yourself as the king of hip-hop. The streets don't crown scared kings. Section 7. The unarmed menace, contradiction. Cole ends with, no strap on my body, I'm an unarmed menace. So you just admitted you're intimidated by real gangsters, but you're also a menace? You're scared of street guys, but you're also dangerous? Which personality are we supposed to believe? This is Cole trying to have it both ways again. Vulnerable enough to be relatable, dangerous enough to be respected. But the math doesn't work when you admit your fears in the same verse you claim your menace status. Section 8. The humility as strategy. Here's what Cole accidentally revealed about his entire image. His humility isn't genuine character trait. It's a strategic brand choice designed to make him more appealing to audiences who are tired of flashy, ego-driven rap. By positioning himself as the anti-materialistic, humble alternative, Cole created a lane where his fans feel intellectually superior for supporting him. I like the conscious, humble rapper, not those fake, flashy ones. But then Cole uses that goodwill to sneak in the same ego-driven claims as every other rapper. He's just packaging arrogance in humility wrapping paper. Memes say I'm humble is Cole accidentally admitting that his entire brand strategy has become so obvious that people joke about it. His humility has become performance art. Section 9. The Prediction Vindication, Part 3. Let's check my predictions against Song 3. 1. Crown himself as greatest, check. Witness perfection, Michael Jordan comparisons. 2. Use aging backwards narrative, check. Cole gets older but grows new abilities. 3. Employ humility as strategic tool, check. Admits humility is a meme, then uses it to justify arrogance. 4. Show insecurity through contradictions, check. Scared of gangsters but claims to be a menace. 3 songs in and Cole is still following my psychological script to the letter. This man is so predictable that I'm starting to feel bad for exposing him this thoroughly. Section 10. The strategic humility breakdown. Let me explain how Cole's humility strategy works. Step 1. Position yourself as humble and relatable. Step 2. Build a fan base that feels superior for supporting the authentic choice. Step 3. Use that goodwill to make arrogant claims seem like honest assessments. Step 4. When called out, point back to your humble image as proof you're not ego-driven. It's brilliant marketing disguised as personality. Cole figured out that in 2025, claiming to be humble is more effective than actually being humble. Section 11. Addressing Cole's stance, Part 3. Cole stands, I need y'all to process what just happened. Your favorite rapper just admitted his humility is a meme, meaning it's become a joke, then spent the rest of the song proving why people joke about it by calling himself perfect and comparing himself to Michael Jordan. This is the authentic, mature, evolved artist you've been defending? A man who admits his own brand strategy has become a punchline, then continues using that same strategy? Where are those apologies I've been requesting? Because Cole just confirmed every psychological analysis I made about his calculated image management. Section 12. The bigger picture. What makes this trilogy of songs so revealing is how they work together. Song 1. I'm the GOAT and I'm aging backwards. Song 2. I'm the best alive and everyone else is fake. Song 3. My humility is a meme, but let me compare myself to Michael Jordan. This isn't artistic growth. This is psychological regression with better production. Cole is having a public midlife crisis while trying to convince everyone it's creative evolution. And the saddest part is that he's talented enough to not need these psychological games. But his insecurity won't let him just be good. He has to be the greatest, even if it means contradicting himself every few bars. Section 13. The self-awareness paradox. Here's what's fascinating. Cole shows enough self-awareness to acknowledge his humility has become a meme, but not enough self-awareness to stop doing the things that made it a meme. He can see that his image strategy is transparent enough that people joke about it, but he can't stop using that same strategy.
It's a long time since we had a moment like this in hip-hop, bro.
Hip-hop is competitive, bro. Let's go.
Let's go, Cole.
Turn it up. Very up-tempo beat.
Awful beat.
I hear those church bells in the back of the mix.
Light work, like it's PWC.
I moved in a way that I feel spiritually feel bad on me. Like,
Oh, no.
He can see that his image strategy is transparent enough that people joke about it, but he can't stop using that same strategy. It's like watching someone say, I know I'm being obvious, while continuing to be obvious. That's not artistic depth, that's psychological compulsion. Cole is trapped in patterns he can recognize, but can't escape. The hat trick complete. So there you have it. 3 songs into J. Cole's birthday mixtape, and he's managed to crown himself the GOAT while claiming humility, admit his brand strategy has become a meme while continuing to use it, compare himself to legends while preaching authenticity, claim perfection while acknowledging his fears, use retirement as leverage while pretending it's artistic choice. Cole stands. I'm 3 for 3 on predicting your favorite rapper's psychological patterns. The receipts are overwhelming at this point. Cole is so trapped in his own image management that he's become a parody of himself. The fall-off era isn't about artistic vision. It's about a man who built his entire identity around being humble, accidentally admitting that his humility is performance art. Drop those apologies in the comments, Cole stands. The prophet of pettiness just completed the hat trick of psychological predictions. Because when you understand the game better than the person playing it, you don't just see the moves, you see the contradictions driving them.
So you got some expensive watches,
Sure.
jewelry.
Got expensive watches, jewelry. I don't have. I sold my car. I had a Range at one point. I sold it. I ride a bike now through.
Do you really? You have no cars?
I don't have a car. No.
No more car, just a bike.
Car. Yeah.
The call out. To every Cole stan reading this, your favorite rapper spent 3 songs contradicting himself, admitting his humility is a meme, and lying about his competitive spirit. Instead of acknowledging obvious flaws, you're rewriting hip-hop history to make his behavior seem reasonable. You're not protecting Cole, you're enabling his worst tendencies while damaging the culture's ability to maintain standards. Hip-hop was built on truth, competition, and accountability. When you defend lies, excuse cowardice, and gaslight critics, you're attacking those foundations. J. Cole stans have officially become the most delusional fan base in hip-hop, and that's saying something in an era of Drake and Kanye stans. But here's the difference. Other stans defend their favorites despite obvious flaws. Cole stans deny that obvious flaws exist, then attack anyone who points them out. That's not just worse than Drake stans, that's worse for hip-hop culture as a whole. Drop your thoughts in the comments, but Cole stans, save your breath. I've seen your playbook in Scru's comment section, and I'm not impressed by your coordinated delusion. To everyone else, this is what happens when image becomes more important than substance, when loyalty becomes more important than truth. Cole stans aren't just wrong about their favorite rapper, they're wrong about what hip-hop should value. And I'm going to keep saying it until the spell breaks. Until next time, keep your criticism honest and your fan base accountable. Because when stans start rewriting reality, somebody has to speak truth to delusion. And today, that somebody is me.